Right. Well, hello there. I'm Bearclaw, and welcome to the first of many full commentary playthroughs of video games. I don't know. I don't really have a specific niche, so let's see where we get to. And with that, without further ado, I've gone through all the settings. I've made sure everything works, gone through all the audio, gone through all the hoops. So I guess we just start. So let's see. New campaign. There's an empty save slot. So what I like to do is I like to play on Legendary. You can see it's 50% enemy HP. Enemies have much higher stun values. Enemy squads are larger. 50% wound recovery time. It's basically XCOM. So let's see. Let's see how Walmart XCOM goes for us. I'll keep the tutorial on. Let's see how far we get. So I've turned all the DLC on, and I've turned off the special launch equipment. Doesn't really make a difference, because, I mean, if you turn the DLC on, you get starting equipment anyway. So, it's give or take. Doesn't really matter. Because the difficulty's so high, it's kind of meaningless. Well, anyway, let's get started.
It is the 41st millennium. For more than 100 centuries, the Emperor has sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth. Mankind wages a never-ending battle for survival against the demonic power of the Chaos Gods. But by one force is humanity shielded from true darkness. The Grey Knights. This secret chapter of Space Marines are the Imperium's surest defense against that which the Emperor foresaw would be its greatest threat, humanity's blade against the demon. For in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.
Unidentified Astartes vessel. This is Captain Pirani Everick of the warship Holiness of Ra. Geheris is lost. Repeat, Geheris is lost. All Imperial vessels are to withdraw at once. Astartes vessel, do you read me? Geheris is doomed. Please acknowledge this warning and...
You have done all you can, Captain. Go, in the Emperor's light.
You cannot sail into this storm.
We do what we must. Farewell, Captain. Tech Priest, report.
Hexagramic wards are under maximal pressure.
Commander, we cannot maintain this orbit for long.
Dispatch the assault team at once. I will join them and put an end to this myself.
Your will be done. The assault team is engaged, Commander. They clear a path to your arrival.
Here I stand. One unbreakable shield against the darkness. Tonight the Cadium falls, Hector. Our quest is finally near its end.
Alright, lots of exposition. Let's see what else we have in store here.
Palamedes, report.
We have cleared a path through this chaff. Our target lies ahead.
Time is against us, brothers. We breach the cathedral.
So in the tutorial, basically figure out how to play the video game. Just follow the directions. It's pretty easy. Pretty straightforward.
Deluded zealots.
Your Imperium shall burn!
Cowards and weaklings. Advancing into cover.
So it reads, full cover reduces damage from direct ranged attacks by 100%. So it's a little different from XCOM. There aren't many percentages. Technically just if it's in range or not. So, for example, right, you can see his health bar turns red, his stun value turns red, right? It's basically based on range and cover, which is pretty convenient. Makes things simple. Alright, well, let's choose the target, kill him, right? That's not allowed yet. So, this kills him with a Storm Bolter. Or hurts him at least.
Face the Emperor's judgment.
We've got one action point, so that leaves us with reloading.
I will end that heretic.
So, as it reads, partial cover provides some damage protection. And again, we shoot the same guy, dies.
Justice.
Very good.
Uther, dispense of that heretic with your blade.
Oh, and we're entering melee. So one thing about melee is you don't want to click on this and just click on this. What you want to do is you want to sort of, here, hold on. I'm gonna click on the target, so
no quarter.
you.
Yes, Commander.
So when you're moving, you're not just moving to that area. You're spending the action points to move and to attack in the same movement, basically.
I am the Emperor's Fury.
You can't really see the value now, but
You're out
later
of cover,
you'll see it.
Uther. Trust in the Aegis.
And we have our Aegis shield. It's basically armor for a turn. And again, this will come in handy later. For now, let's follow the directions. See where it leads us.
Gods be with me!
Pathetic.
Die, Imperial dog! Here's a good spot. Does he yet stand?
Wretch.
Just wait. Just wait.
Time stands against us. I will breach the cathedral.
Again, we get these beautiful cutscenes of opening doors.
I will not be delayed by these.
Check it out. Alright. Again, the game teaches us environmental hazards. But just be cautious, because if your knights get caught in these, I mean, they take damage too, so just be aware of that when you're doing these things.
Iolanthus, your brother, is pinned. Advance and deliver retribution.
By your command.
Deploy your frag grenade, brother.
Okay. Grenades.
We are hammer.
Grenades are very important early on, especially when you don't have as many abilities. So keep that in
Deliver
mind.
the Emperor's judgment.
You want to keep those as long as possible, or for when it really matters. There will be examples of that later, don't worry.
Advance and train your bolter on that doorway. Unleash your blessed ammunition the moment they are exposed.
Another wonderful thing about this game is Overwatch.
Palamedes, prepare for the demon's charge.
At once, Commander.
Oh, but it's not good.
I shall return.
I sense dark powers from within.
So again, the game is trying to teach us, adjacent enemies with melee weapons will attack, and move out of range. You'll see that here. Rotating the camera. We get some abilities. This guy's got Theory of the
soulless
Ancients.
curs shall hinder us no longer.
This ability, I think it's only for the Paladin. I may not be too sure about that, but we'll see it much later.
End that demon, Palamedes.
Engaging now.
Oh, he's pinned. Do I have enough? Don't think I do. There's a parry.
Curses!
Uh-oh. That's not good.
I will end.
We cannot lose another battle, brother Iolanthus. Both demons must be destroyed.
Ah, yes. Criticals. So when you roll enough crits, basically you get to this menu, and you can disable parts of the enemy. So some parts are more important than others. Enraged, melee weapon, stun. Depending on, your composition of your team, maybe depending on what you take and what you don't take. And certain enemies, they're just things you want to take immediately, as soon as you see them. Again, we'll see that later on, once we get to the more difficult things.
Return to the
Crit.
jaws of your master.
So that means we can execute him. So let's do that here. Execute is just instant death. And again, with certain compositions of your team, you will see this a lot. But we're not there yet, so play it by ear. Very cool, very cool. Ah, yes, and certain abilities, you gain action points for the whole squad. So executions, they give you +1 action points per unit. So if you kill one unit with an execution, you get 1 action point. But again, certain knights can amplify that, which we'll see again later on. Everything's later on here, as usual.
Time walks forward.
Excellent.
Alright,
I will move on ahead.
let's get going.
There is not much time, brothers, but we must prepare for the coming battle. I can sense enemy reinforcements. Palamedes, resuscitate Uther, so you may both defend against them.
Yes, resuscitation.
Take up defensive positions, Palamedes. The enemy reinforcements will be here soon.
And that's the only thing we can do.
Your resolve is commendable, Uther. Join Palamedes in defense of the cathedral. Iolanthus, with me. There's a breach in the wall ahead.
So once we're out of the tutorial,
I will breach the inner sanctum.
we'll be able to freely engage, which is nice.
Millions of souls feed the flame. The threshold is passed. The warp emerges.
Your cult is broken. Your ritual is ended. Relish this breath, for it is your last.
Blood for the blood god. Skulls for the skull throne.
To my side, Iolanthus. I will show you true wrath, demon.
Look, we attack. All right. Again, notice I didn't move and then attack. I clicked on the enemy. I was in range. I moved and attacked in the same go. So it sort of saves action points. You can't really notice here, but later on you will. We'll be using that quite a bit.
This battle is not over.
Our brothers have bought us precious time, Iolanthus. Flank that demon and fire at will.
And you can also see here is like sometimes you get certain move speeds and you can sort of click your way around hazards so you don't walk into things. So you can see sort of here, you go here and there to avoid all of this. You still have action points left over.
For the Emperor!
You profane this sacred place with your master's fire. This ends now, demon.
Right? This guy's gonna run into his death because that's through fire.
Fall!
For the Emperor.
Oh, he's still alive. Okay. That was interesting.
Pathetic mortal! Weakling spawn of a false god!
I am the light that banishes darkness.
Your prayers mean nothing!
I am the hammer!
You have beaten me for now, little knight! But the war I fight is eternal!
Analysis. Warp signatures fading.
Then the blood ritual has ended. Where is that report? Report! Where is the commander?
He died a champion's death. Blade on blade against the powers blasphemy.
All right. Victory. You'll be seeing this quite a bit. Maybe you'll see some of the defeated ones, but we'll try and keep it to a minimum. Yes, look at this. Commander has fallen, but all is not lost. The Grey Knights are powerful, genetically modified super soldiers. They can sustain injuries that would kill a normal human. They are not invincible. Your knights each have a special resource called Resilience, which indicates how many critical wounds they can survive over the course of the campaign before their injuries require their remains to be returned to your home on Titan. As your knights rise in rank, they will eventually earn more resilience. Now, there is a caveat to this. There are a few talents that affect this. We may or may not see them, depending on what our knights' talents are. Let's see. Let's see how far it takes us. But that guy's dead. That guy's really dead.
A long campaign, over at last.
A victory at the cost of the commander's life.
Alive, he was ever a faithful servant to the Emperor. A true hero. In death, at least his duty has finally ended.
Assertion. This ship remains in crisis. The Baleful Edict is seriously damaged. There are grievous matters to attend.
Ah, yes. That is why I have invited our guest.
You have appointed him to take the commander's place?
No one else suitable survived the campaign.
Falsehood. You also live.
My apologies, Acting Commander. The priests of Mars do not understand our knightly oaths. Our men and stores are severely diminished. Your task is to lead us for the voyage home. It is a simple duty, and once we return to Titan, I will put the future of your command to the chapter's grandmasters. In the meantime, I will provide what advice I can.
I will also support you with counsel and service. But remember, the Baleful Edict is my chief concern. Be careful with this ship.
We sail for Titan on your word, Commander. Strike Force Xiphos at your disposal.
Right. With the fall of Commander Agrabine, we've been promoted. So, here we are. So we've taken his place because he died. And that's kind of it. Kind of all it reads. I don't know. Well, let's continue.
Commander, could you please join me in the Strategium? One of our battle brothers has proved himself worthy. Let us honor his deeds.
Alright, we get our first look at some of our knights here.
Brother Ulrich is a talented Justicar. Please decide where he should focus his training to support you in the field.
Right.
Brother Ulrich is a talented Justicar.
Oh,
please decide where he should focus his training. Please decide where he should focus his training. Brother Ulrich is talented. With every promotion, your knights gain 2 ability points, which you can use to expand their capability.
Don't know what that was. So let's check. Let's check his passive abilities. So this one, it's a permanent passive. He's got Demon Bane, which is 10% crit for all melee and ranged attacks against demonic enemies. So that's pretty good. It's very nice. He's got parry because of the sword. Alright. Doesn't seem to be missing anything or at any detriment. So let's see. Let's give him some HP and honor the chapter. Yeah, I think that's good. let's leave it there.
Confirming this promotion will apply your ability choices to Ulrich, permanently increasing his rank.
Oh, and also take a look at this. So this is the resilience counter. He's gained +1 HP for the rank, and that stacks with his skill we just picked up, which is 4+ HP, so not bad. At least I think it does. I'm not too sure. Maybe nothing happens. I may be wrong. Okay, 17 health. So I'm learning caps lock changes things. Okay, well, the Strategium.
Excellent. When you are finished, please join me at the star map. Our ship is in dire need of repair. We had best set a course for Titan and debrief the Grand Masters.
So here you can see this is the map. It's currently nothing because we're still in the tutorial.
Issue the travel order to begin our return to Titan.
Here we go. To Holy Terra. Titan.
Baleful edict. In the name of the God Emperor.
Dominus, who is this interloper?
Code scrapings indicate an inquisitorial transmission.
Baleful edict. Prepare for my arrival.
Duty calls, Commander. We should open a Vox link.
Inquisitorial vessel. Permission granted to come aboard.
Thank the God Emperor I found you. I must commandeer this vessel at once.
Impossible. We are bound for Titan. The edict cries out for repair.
The Tech Priest speaks the truth, Inquisitor. Our last crusade bled us dry.
I'm not blind, Knight. But heresy does not operate at our convenience. My destination is Koromar Prime, within this very system. Not such a taxing journey, I'd expect.
And what is it that you hope to find there?
This.
Beneath rotting skies, the air thickens with a world's final breath. Seeds planted in flesh and bone, watered with blood and tears. A warrior alone in the garden of a grinning god.
These are scraps of astropathic whimsy.
There's more.
It grows. It spreads. A great dispersal upon the etheric wind. The bloom proliferating. First, then Koromar, then world after world. Its roots spread from an ancient veil. Inquisitor, hear me! Hear me! Hear me! Who tends the garden?
The Astropath sacrificed himself to send that message.
Now you understand why we must investigate.
Commander, we cannot risk further damage to this vessel.
It is the chapter ship, Dominus. The Inquisitor has every right to request our support.
It is not a request.
Commander, with your leave, we will set our course for this Koramar Prime.
Yes. Good. That will do for now.
Corruption site detected.
Right. Looks like we've got chaos detected. Worlds afflicted with disease have some level of Nurgle corruption, but this is higher than anticipated. We should investigate this further. So this menu shows up after you land.
If we do not investigate this threat, the consequences will be dire.
So here we can see the level of infestation, right? Mutation level, warp surge risk, what kind of strain is here, and what kind of minions of chaos are here. So the further we go along, the more information we'll get, and the higher this infestation level will get. And depending on that is depending on, how high the warp surge risk is. But again, there are ways to mitigate this. We will see that later on. So for now, let's continue.
Commander, it is our duty to support this Inquisitor, but we should complete this task as swiftly as we can. The Grand Masters on Titan are waiting for our report.
All right.
Report. Signals from quarantine beacons detected in the upper atmosphere, but the surface itself is silent.
Plague, Commander. Send your squad to the surface.
Knights of Titan, you are the instrument of the Emperor's will. Make planetfall and discover if the Inquisitor's fears are founded. You should evaluate your knight's armaments and ensure they are best suited to the battle at hand.
Right, which is what we'll do here. So, seeing that Iolanthus is already level 2, let's consider moving him around, why don't we? But first, let's cycle through and see what our knights have in terms of talents. So we've got Demon Bane on Iolanthus. We have Fast Recovery on Thule. It's not bad, not great, but that's okay. And nothing else. We have nothing crazy here, so that's good. Could be worse, I suppose. Let's see about the Apothecary. Engine Bane. Okay, 10% crit against all mechanical enemies. Not bad. Not bad, not bad.
Storm.
Let's check out Storm. Oh, oops. Let's see. What does Storm have to offer? Okay, so nothing crazy. Let's check out Boars. He's indomitable. Starts with +2 max HP at rank 1. Okay, very nice. Let's check out Rugen. Let's see. Lightning Reflexes. It's 10% focus. Focus increases chance to trigger autos and afflictions. Okay, very nice. So out of these ones, let's say, for example, I want Boars. We want...
Rugen.
Let me check again. Lightning Reflexes against what? What is this? Fast Recovery. I mean... Yeah, let me swap him for Rugen. Then, what about this guy? Yeah, this guy's fine. We'll take the Interceptor. So for this Purgator, we're taking Rugen.
The Nemesis Force choose which halberd you would like to equip.
Oh.
Your options will be limited until we return to Titan.
Okay. Oh, I don't want to do that. So let's not do that. I'm gonna give him a silencer instead. So here's the DLC weapon. We won't use that. We'll just use this one. It's fine. Now for Thule, we're gonna remove him, and I'm gonna bring the Apothecary. We won't need an Arthesium for a while, so I'm gonna give him a sword, so he has 50% parry. So notice that every weapon has a certain ability on it. So Force Swords have parry, Halberds have first strike, Falchions have crit, stuff like that, Demon Hammers, just damage, warding staves. So the Aegis reaction, it's kind of like a coin toss to activate Aegis Shield without spending action points, which is really good. Arthesium, again, healing, abilities, and Crozius. This just causes afflictions to the enemy. So let's stick with the simple stuff for now. Swords, silencers, some storm bolters, and also we're gonna ditch the Terminator armor for now. Just gotta be mobile. Lots of mobility here to make sure we don't get bogged down or caught up in enemies because we're fat and slow. So with this in mind, let's begin. This is the first mission out of the tutorial, so let's see how far we get. Shouldn't be too bad. And if you're worried about drowning in Exposition, don't be. The heaviest part of the Exposition is over. I think there's one more cutscene after this one, and then we're sort of free to do whatever. We'll get notifications along the way, but it's nothing crazy, so that's good news. That's sort of what I like about this game. Just when you think you'll start drowning in Exposition, it surprises you and gives you control of the video game. So, let's begin.
Commander, have your men look for signs of this plague.
Be vigilant, brothers.
So we have our knights, and we just move around.
With haste. Chaos stirs within the shadows.
So
The Emperor
we
lights
have
our path.
trolls, and you'll notice that there's only one of them. But when you get into a certain range, they will detect you. So what I like to do is I sort of like to get as close as possible with as many knights as possible, and then pull aggro and let them detect us. So then that way, when they detect us, we have all of our forces arrayed so that we can just attack and obliterate them. But that comes later. So let's see. I think we're safe there. Nothing too crazy yet. Here, let's end the turn. Let me see.
Unleash me. What is your will?
Put this guy here.
Moving now.
Who else? I think I want the Purgator there. So
What is
let's
your
see.
will?
See if I can't get this guy down here. Okay, no detection yet. Very nice.
My blade is ever ready.
I think I'll move
Stand
him
ready.
Your
here.
orders?
My blade is yours.
Have
Praise the Emperor.
What is your
Purgator
will?
here. Alright,
My way.
I think that's good. Let's see what happens.
Powers protect
Been
us.
detected.
I see one. Overwatch.
What do we have here?
Right.
Unleash me.
So it mentioned unit info. So if we middle click on this guy, we can see all of his mutations, all of his possible mutations. So if they're not green, he doesn't have them. So his status, and then we have his health, his stun, his body type, bloom seeds, resistance, crit vulnerability, his move speed, Forces of Nurgle, his faction, little image, and himself. And then his abilities, his active abilities. his passive abilities, his autos, his weapons, his melee. And then we have his precision targets. So this is what we can do to him if we crit him. Right now we haven't, so I'm just gonna exit out of that. But with any great playthrough of this game, it begins with a grenade toss. So what you'll notice here, right, is, oh, there's an environmental hazard, right? It does 5 damage. Okay, no big deal. Grenade does 3 damage. This damage stacks. So that means these two, right, you can see their health totals. They're basically dead. So we can get a nice... I think we can get a triple kill if he flies off the edge. We'll see in a second. Alright. And so it begins.
We bring death. I am the Emperor's vengeance.
Yes, and if you notice that it propels them 3, so if the knockback is enough to throw them out of bounds, they die instantly. But just keep in mind, it doesn't work on every enemy, because not all enemies are small enough to be propelled by just knockback itself. Some enemies can't be thrown around. So let's see.
I am here to serve.
Where is our interceptor? There he is. Gonna use his ability. He's gonna teleport.
With alacrity.
And again, now I can start using the thingy-majig I was talking about. So I'm gonna click here, left click, and then I'm gonna left click on this guy. So that's 2 action points, right? And an attack.
Down.
Here I can disable something from him. So I've crit him, crit is registered, and I'm gonna take his arm. So now his ranged is disabled. So he can hit us, but he can't hit us for much, right? Let's see what's left. He can deal 1 damage with his fist. And now it's safe. It's safe to approach.
The Emperor lights our path. As you will.
Don't think that kills him, but might be close. Oh,
The Titan.
basically, if that guy moves, he's dead. So let's see, can I get a kill
now.
here?
We bring death.
There it is, he's dead.
Sanctified and purged.
That's our first patrol of the playthrough. Done. Easy peasy.
Your orders.
So now we've got
Praise
some
the
more
Emperor.
movement to do. Just kind of set them here. Oh, we've been discovered early. So there's another patrol.
Wait, that creature.
Inquisitor, we have seen the dead walk in this way before.
As have I. Poxwalkers are evidence of warp corruption. This is no natural plague.
So as you can see, I stumbled into their patrol radius and they detected us. So now I've got to stand here.
Taking position. My blade
I think they're
is
far enough
yours.
away.
My
So
blade
let's
is
set up
ever ready.
Overwatch. Set up Overwatch like this.
They shall not pass.
So let's see how many zombies we can get spawn
Unleash
turn.
me.
Let's see, let's set up some Overwatch here.
I will hold them here.
We'll have our teleporting
Standing ready.
guy come down. Again, 2 action points, no big deal.
Advancing.
And some more
What is your
Overwatch.
will? Your orders.
Nice. Just like this. And unfortunately,
Orders.
this guy's carrying a silencer, so he doesn't have access to Overwatch. But he's got access to other abilities. You'll see them in a moment. For now, that's sort of it. Just a defensive line. Don't run into us. They're melee only, so all they can do is come forward.
Good. I will need to examine this corpse and...
I will not tolerate this contamination spreading to my servitors.
So
Do
here
not
we go.
obstruct me, tech priest. I will follow proper protocols.
So we're gonna use
I am
scatter
here to
shot
serve.
here.
Rugen.
Should be interesting.
Death to the enemy.
Fortunately, it's also sort of empties his ammo, so that's
Armed and ready.
comes with a cost. It truly does.
My blade is yours. I have sanctified my rounds.
So again, just reloading, getting Overwatch, and they'll just walk into it. Since they're melee only, this is the only thing they have, really.
Weapon rearmed.
So let's see, how far did they get?
Bolter trained and ready.
I guess I just get to sit there. Alright, no big deal. Cool.
So to the unworthy.
There's a parry. Nice. So, no damage. Easy peasy. Here, what we can do in the meantime is we can check all of the XP on the characters. Let's see, he's got 2 points. He's got 0. This guy's got 14, so...
What is your will?
We'll take this kill with the Interceptor. Just some XP, you know.
Satisfactory effort. Now return with my carcass so I can set to work.
We will deliver them to you as soon as containment is properly confirmed and sanctified.
Be swift about it. If this plague has already spread beyond this planet, then we will have far more ground to cover.
There it is. Victory. Woohoo! The first of many. And here we can see the success, the objectives we've done, and the mission rewards. You'll see this later on, don't worry, but just keep in mind, servitors are very important. Almost the most important item in this game. I guess you could call it a resource. But yeah, it's very important you have a lot of servitors. Just remember that, especially on Legendary, because you're gonna be repairing the ship. Alright, here we are. So people got XP for... So you get XP in the mission, and then you get XP after the mission. You don't get very much outside of the mission. Most of the XP is gained inside the mission. And certain weapons will increase XP, certain weapons will have abilities that increase or decrease certain things. You'll see. But that's later. Right now, we're just kind of at the beginning. Nothing crazy happening. Lots of cultists.
Mission objectives achieved, Commander. Our guest wishes to speak with you in the Libris.
I must commend you on this impressive archive of demonic lore, Commander. It rivals some I've seen in inquisitorial fortresses. I will require it as a base of operations for my studies. I respect your authority in matters of combat, but I must remain until I can ascertain some solution to this plague. I am, of course, open to recommendations on which lines of study you feel would best serve the mission. I must insist, however, on beginning my research with a necropsy of the Poxwalker carcass your brothers recovered. I am certain they hold a key to understanding this corruption.
Right, so let's see. The research menu.
I will conduct a necropsy of the recovered corpse to see what I can learn.
Alright, well, let's begin. Click on this.
I shall begin at
research.
once. Inform your crew that I am not to be disturbed.
So through this menu is basically how you get stratagems, how you mitigate certain risks in missions. You make things a little easier here. Again, when we open the rest of the stratagems and research lines, you'll see what I'm talking about. But for now, this is all we can do, so that's all we can do.
Commander, I toil with a critical lack of resources. I request you attend me in the manufactorum. My servitors have restored the manufactorum to operational use, but the edict remains severely damaged. Without access to a proper dockyard, restoration will be slow and limited by the resources we can requisition from Titan or nearby inquisitorial enclaves. As of this moment, reviving the edict's core power output takes absolute primacy.
Right, so let's see. Ship
I
status.
must improve the edict's power output in order to conduct more extensive repairs.
So, as she says, we will repair the plasma reactor. It'll take 6 days, 12 servitors. So again, there are ship events, dialogue options that will increase or decrease, the rate of repair, how many servitors you have, etc., etc. So for now, let's begin with this, because there's not much else we can do. So there it is. It'll be done in 6 days. Very nice.
I must now interface with the logic engines. I trust you have a great deal to attend to.
Yes, we do. Back to the star
Commander,
map.
I have adjusted the star map to display our current sector. However, our intelligence here is sparse. I suggest we bide our time until the Dominus restores power to our scanners.
Right, which we will do so, right? We have Poxwalker, Necropsy. This you can see the timeline, all the things you're doing, all the afflictions, all the boons, all the benefits, injuries, ship events, mission times, all that's down there. It's pretty cool. So, let's advance time. We gotta wait 6 days, so we will wait 6 days.
The Dominus has restored the star map to its full function. We are receiving a barrage of scanning data and astropathic scrapings from across the sector. This plague appears to have already spread its tendrils far and wide. We are faced with reports of 2 infected systems. We should monitor this infestation carefully and judge where best to direct our forces while the Inquisitor pursues her answers. Failure will cost many souls.
Alright, so here we've been notified our plasma reactor is operational. So now we can repair something else. So as I said before, servitors are really important, but so is the Augurium. So what we're gonna do first, since I want as many servitors as possible, which is the entire theme we're gonna follow this playthrough, I'm just gonna start here. We're gonna start with the augmentation chamber. Okay, so that will be done in 18 days, and we're still waiting for Poxwalker Necropsy.
Let us ready ourselves for the trials to come.
Ah, okay, so no enemy activity, right? Although our scans reveal undeniable signs of corruption in the sector, the enemy appears to be dormant for now. We should advance time until they reveal themselves and create mission objectives where we can intervene. In the meantime, the Dominus will be able to restore some of the Edict's functionality, and the Inquisitor can pursue her research.
Awaiting your orders.
So, in between missions, you'll be able to kind of run around on the star map. There is a bit of a game to this, so you don't want to be on the edge, because if you're on the edge, the map, well, the missions will spawn across from you, so you kind of want to be in the center area. Again, this map will change as time goes on, but yeah, you want to be in the central area so you can try and get to 2 missions. It's not always a guarantee. It's sort of a roll of the dice where missions pop up, at least for now. So let's, how about we try over here? We're gonna move here. And there are options in the menu that you can turn these events down, the frequency of them, so you're not always, you know, watching the ship go in and out of the warp. But for now, let's just advance time. Or better yet, let's change the settings now. So we can change this from always to never, and combat events to sometimes, depending on how cinematic you want to get. Let's turn the volume down on music a little bit. I think that's good. So let's hang out. Let's hang out for a few days. See what's going on. Any day now. All right.
Commander, our prognosticators have detected this bloom in 3 separate systems. We should examine one of them. I have identified this planet as a mission location to combat the bloom. Let us examine further.
All right, so we can click on the eye.
From here, you can see some details for this mission, including the resources that Titan's Armory will make available to us if we are successful.
So, the mission rewards here are a grimoire. It's not what I'm looking for. This is, you know, Echoes of Contagion. It's got a name, it's got a danger level. You can see, again, this time it's 20%, and the mutation level is low, right? Corruption level 1. So you can see things have risen, so we'll see some interesting stuff there. Let's check out this one. Oh look, Servitors. Corruption level 0. So this is what I was talking about, right? You can see one mission is on this side of the map, one mission's on that side of the map, and one mission is here. So we can't quite reach everything. But as it stands, we've been introduced to all of the main characters, all of the resources we have available to us. Well, most of them. But again, there will be more resources later on, and there will be more options later on. So I think I'll leave it there. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the next one.